The FNL Network Talk Show.
Hi, welcome to the FNL Talk Show. I'm Bettina Skye, and I have my co-hosts here, Cat and Diana. Say hello to everyone.
Hi guys.
Great to see everyone. So much fun.
You.
So I'm in Warwick, New York, and these other two ladies are actually in LA. I thought that was an interesting points to make. And I'm hosting today, so I have some questions. I'll be throwing it out there, and everyone will give like their opinions of these questions or say what they think, and we'll give everyone a chance to talk. So I wanted to start off with something very interesting to me about magic and how magic shows up in your life, almost like how do surprise miracles show up in your life, that kind of topic. So I'd like to start with Diana, see what she has to say about that question.
Yeah, I was actually really happy you brought this one up because I have a symbol with the universe. It's a monarch butterfly. And whenever I see them, it's my little symbol. I'm on the right path. So last week, it just feels like I've just been seeing butterflies all over, whether it's actual like physical butterflies or maybe someone's walking around and they got a monarch on their shirt, or you know, just it pops up in some other way, like in a store display or something. That's kind of just like my little wink from the universe that
I love that. You know, butterfly means transformation, because it transformed itself from a caterpillar into a beautiful butterfly. So that can mean that transformation is on the way for you.
I love that. Yeah, they're really special to me. I have them tattooed actually on my ankles. And then normally, I'm not wearing it right now, but normally I have some sort of butterfly necklace on.
Oh, wow.
Bettina, that's crazy you said that about transformation, because I had a dream just before my dog passed, and my late horse came in this dream, but he came in the form of this most beautiful, I'm going to say like it wasn't like a butterfly, but it was like orange flames. And he just hovered and waited and waited. And then this smaller one, also this beautiful orange, it was like a sunlight butterfly, but it was like it had flames, flew up and met it. And they took off together and they told me it's going to be okay. Oh. And that was, my dog passed 36 hours later. Oh, wow. And it was crazy. And it's funny you say that about transformation, because this dream is so vivid for me, and I didn't think about it at the time. I just knew in this dream that it was Winthrop had come to get Yasmin, and it was the most beautiful dream, but it was also really sad. I'm going to start welling up if I talk about it too much, but you telling me that it's about transformation, that's just really hit me in the heart right now, because I knew what it meant, but I didn't realize that the butterfly was the symbol of that. So that's special. That's just that's crazy.
What it does, it starts as like a caterpillar, right? And then it just like goes into a cocoon and it turns into a butterfly. Like that's, I mean, what is more like different than that? It just like transforms its whole like physical being, and then it can fly, like, you know, so you're crawling around on the ground, and then, you know, you're a spirit, or you're into like the next phase of your life, or whatever it is that you're wanting to transform. But yeah, that's a great story. That's a great story. Is there anything anyone would else like to add?
Well, I will definitely add about magic, because we kind of touched on this a few weeks ago, because everyone knows that I kind of had a bit of a rough ride recently with animals passing and car accidents and losing my keys down the roadside drain. And then I have this other driver wanting an injury claim, despite the fact it was a no injury accident. But I kind of think if you look at the world in general, and I've been thinking about this since the magic question came up, we have 6 planets in, what's the word? Is it
retrograde?
Retrograde.
That's the word. That's the word.
Right.
Okay.
It's a bit of a crazy
time. Yes. And then you look at the world, and you look at the fact we've had the hottest summers on record. We've had fires, we have wars, and you think, it just got me thinking, are the planets actually, and the energy from the planets, is that having an effect on everybody's life? Because I talk to people, and I talk to people quite a lot, and it seems that everybody has something going on in their lives right now, and probably has a bit of a negative undertone to it. So I just, you know, with magic, I think there's good magic things that happen, like that beautiful dream that I had. But I also think there is forces playing on us and playing on the world in general that can have a negative force. And I was just thinking about the planets and magic, and I kind of thought about my life at the moment, and I thought there was a lot of negative energy, not necessarily for me, because I like to be a very positive person, but I feel like there's negative forces playing on my life right now. So when you talk about magic, can magic happen in good ways and bad ways? I'm guessing it can, because you can have, like we talk about dark magic, don't we? And so I just was interested in how you thought the planets line up with the energies that are having a force on our everyday life.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rough time right now with all this retrograde stuff, but there are also blessings in retrograde having to do with like redoing everything, going back and doing something again, being super careful about things, seeing old friends. Like, so there are, I like to stay on the positive viewpoint of things, except wherever I can, because sometimes things get me triggered, like my family. But I do try to stay on a positive note and think. I try to stay mostly thinking about good magic and good, you know, good vibes, and how can we take what's going on in the planets to use it to our advantage at this time. You know, clean out old stuff. Like there's a whole bunch of things that, you know, we can be doing to, you know, to stay in sync with the planets. That's kind of how I see that.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a time to reflect, change things that you want to change, because
Yeah,
I do. I think it's a good time to work on yourself, to work on your ambitions and everything else. I kind of think it's time to take a step back, look at your life, and then progress it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
and that's what I'm feeling right now. I feel that I have to take a step back, look at everything that's going on in my life, and then move it forward in totally positive steps. You know, I want to achieve this, I want to do that, this makes me happy, that makes me happy. Clear out all the trash and just move forward from this slightly negative phase of my life, you know, turn the corner in the road and hit the road running, you know, with positivity and everything else. Because I believe in like yin and yang, and obviously if there's a positive energy, there's a negative energy, and at some point the balance has to change, you know.
Yeah.
So I do. I think this is a very good time for everyone to take a step back, reflect, and work on moving forward positively.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I went back to my gym today to try and re-sign up. So that was like, that was good.
Yeah.
For me,
That's yeah.
yeah, that was a good thing. I'll talk about that in the next topic in a minute. But for me, I was going to say about the magic is I often have very good luck with timing of things. Like I was, this happened a little bit ago, not, you know, where I had to be two places at one time. My friend was getting married and I was the minister for the wedding. And then I booked like an episodic, like a television series, and I really wanted to do that. It was like a recurring role. I had 2 episodes, and they put me, it was like the same date as this, you know, and my friend's wedding was kind of a long drive, and this was like in Staten Island. I think it was Staten Island we were shooting. Yeah.
Woo-woo.
I think it was in Staten Island. I've actually done quite a few film shoots in Staten Island, strangely enough.
No kidding.
Yeah, a few this year. And one a few years ago too. So one is called Fresh Kills, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, it's
That's
about that
funny.
area. It's about
Yeah,
that area.
I know all about fresh kills.
There's a whole movie. It's a whole movie about it. So I'll tell you what. Yeah,
Amazing.
that's the name of the movie. Yeah.
Oh
So,
my God. Okay, I have to, now I got to watch that, because obviously growing up on Staten Island, you know, fresh kills. So
that accent's fabulous. Yeah,
Oh,
so
thank
I will let you know when that's out. They're still in like post-production or something.
yeah,
So.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, I have a tiny part, but still, I'm in it.
Yeah.
But we have to watch it. We do have to watch it.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say about the magic that happened for this other television show I did, and they ended up like changing the date of my shoot date, and I ended up being able to do both film and run my friend's wedding. So that was, for me, that was like a big magic that happened, because I just kept visualizing and saying stuff and doing some magic stuff. Like, that worked out.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because there are some things in my life where I really want it to go a certain way, and I feel like it's not going my way now. So what are some practices that you'd recommend that I put into play?
Well, I mean, I'm into like a whole magic healing thing, and
Sure.
I do something called vortex healing.
Okay.
And I have clients online and on Zoom that I do a type of healing with them to like help that. But certainly on your own, there's just seeing it all work out and trusting that it's all work out, just because in my opinion, the reason conflicts come up is because there's some conflict in your mind and in your heart. Like, I can't have everything. I don't believe I can have everything. So once you kind of get deep into like belief and trust that you can have everything, the universe will step up and make that happen for you. So, I mean, that's kind of one of my main tools in a nutshell, to kind of look back and say, well, where am I conflicted? I can't, do I really believe like I can't have this all? I can't have an acting career, or while also having like a fun life. So that's kind of part of it, to kind of get my mind, body, spirit, seeing the fact that I can have it all. And the only reason it's showing up as a conflict is because there's a small part of me that couldn't see that. So that would be step one. But,
So how would
other stuff
you,
is the other stuff is doing healings. I do healings for people. So whatever kind of energy work you can do and stuff to clear out your system, the better.
so how would you recommend you clear that little voice that is deep inside your stomach that says, you're not good enough, or that you kind of stop yourself doing stuff? Because obviously,
well, besides energy work, which I think is very helpful, I would say journaling out affirmations like, I now receive the abundance of the universe, or whatever specific. Sometimes writing something out like 100 times in your journal, that affirmation can really help, because it's going from like your heart out into the universe, like through your hand.
okay.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Because I have a lower self-esteem naturally. So for me, like if I wrote, I am confident I can do it, like 10, 15, 20 times at the start of every day, before I start my self-tapes, before I start my voice auditions. That'd be a way to clear any negativity I have in myself, because I am someone who does naturally go down that route where
you got to keep your vibration high as like a main focus in your life, in my opinion, in order to move ahead and continue to manifest bigger and bigger things. So whatever method you want. My favorite is energy healing, because that can clear things, like just clear blocks out pretty fast. But there are definitely other things you can do on your own. I think
are there crystals for that sort of, for clearing that sort of energy?
I think there are. That's not my expert in terms of things that I know, but yeah, there are.
Okay, so I know crystals are very powerful. People have given me, like someone gave me a crystal when my dog passed, and it's like this beautiful white little crystal, and I think it was meant for positivity and stuff like that. It was, and I love it. I absolutely love it, whether or not
if that's helping you, there you go.
Yeah, I love it because it was a beautiful gift from somebody, and it was given to kind of, it reminds me, of the dog, but it also reminds me to kind of always look on the positive side. It makes me smile and think of this person who gave it me, and I just thought it was a really beautiful gift, but she gave it for a reason.
Whatever you can do to keep that vibe and your happiness.
For sure.
I did want to move into my next question, which has to do with how do we keep ourselves fit? It's kind of like similar to what we've been talking about, but physical fit. What kind of diet are you on? How do you follow it? Where do you go off? I like the idea of like, are there guilty pleasures that you do? in your life? And I mean, like food and or other like interesting, like guilty pleasures. Like, what do you like to do that's like weird or, you know? So that's the next topic I thought would be fun. You know, and how, and
Yeah.
this is like similar to what we were talking about, like your own personal healthy practices.
Yeah.
No,
So
that's
I'm
brilliant.
gonna be Oh, I was going to say, I'm going to be vulnerable here and say that I went on antidepressants, and while it's helped me mentally, and I am so grateful for them, and I'm not going to get off them anytime soon, I unfortunately did gain like 20 to 30 pounds.
Wow.
And that's just, it's hard mentally. I'm going to be real with you because here I am living the most clear, confident I've ever lived, but now I have to deal with, and like my friends don't notice it, but like in my mind, I see a picture of myself and I get upset because I know that's not what I used to look like. And I'm trying to be very conscious of what I'm saying and how it can come off to other people
Yeah.
because I'm the kind of person, I think everyone is beautiful, but I am just very hard on myself. So that's been a challenge for me, but I'm learning to love myself no matter what size I am. I am trying to keep healthy, you know, cut down going to the bar every weekend, right? We don't need to do that. Maybe that's not the best for us, even though it is fun. But doing the best where I can, you know, during the week, I stick to my regimen. I eat very healthy. I try to eat not like super clean because I'm a vegetarian. So like a lot of people who eat clean, they eat a lot of meat, and that's just not
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I can do.
Yeah.
But I try to follow a good diet with healthy food. And then on the weekend, like tonight, I'm going to the movies at Alamo Draft House. And if I want to eat chips and queso while I watch this movie that I've been waiting for months, like I'm going to treat myself to the chips and queso. And then for the, like on Sunday, I'll go for a run. You know, it's
Yeah.
trying to
That's
get
a
that
good
balance.
balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Well,
Thank you.
you're beautiful, Diana. I
Thank
mean,
you. So are you. Everyone here is beautiful.
just wanted you to take that one in.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Kat, did you have something to say on that?
Yes, I do. And I want to say, Diana, it's amazing to be vulnerable. It kind of opens you up to the world. I too, as I've been very open on this show, I do suffer from depression. I have been on the antidepressants before. They didn't work for me. They didn't. So I had to find a different method of controlling depression. So I've talked about this before, but I'm about balance. So fitness, mental health, food and everything else. We all know that I also have the eating disorders. So the first thing for me every day is I get on my spin bike and I sweat for an hour because that elevates my kind of lack of serotonin in my brain. You know, the endorphins kind of balance me out, which is great. And then at the moment, since my dog died, every single evening I'm swimming because I find it relaxing. And the pool is really cold at the moment. It is freezing, but I'm doing my laps because it clears my head and I enjoy it. And also I do socialize with some people during that time because I'll get out of the pool and I'll sit in the hot tub to warm up. And I think people are very good at balancing you mentally. For me, like you, Diana, I have food restrictions. I am 100% vegan. So, and I've been vegan for a long time. And I'm not going to say I'm totally healthy because I will have every now and again, you know, I will have like Oreos, say, or stuff like that. But I do.
That's funny.
I will, you know, or have like.
That's hilarious.
I don't think because of my history that I've been down, you know, with the anorexia and stuff like that, I don't believe in being too clean because I know that I'm obsessive, I know I'm compulsive, and I know that I start cutting things out and I get more and more obsessed, then I'm going to go down a horrible, you know, road again, and I don't want to do that. So for me, the odd, you know, cheeky bag of Oreos or, you know, some vegan ice cream or something like that, bring it on. But my guilty pleasure is I do like to have a drink in the evening to wind down. That is my vice. So I enjoy it, and it kind of relaxes me, and it's just me, myself and I at the end of the day now. And I just find it chills me out, sort of thing. But I believe in balance. I believe fitness It's not about just going to the gym. It's not about just doing yoga. Fitness is mental, physical. It's kind of a lifestyle too. Like, I looked at all these different diets that people are going on, because I do read about that sort of thing. And I'm really interested in intermittent fasting, because people seem to have insane bodies from doing this intermittent fasting. And I would love to give that a go. But I know for me personally, I can't, because if I start, you know, only being able to eat 8 hours a day, it will become 6 hours, it will become 4, and then it'll be the 1 meal a day. And I just can't, because I'm also a type A personality, I can't take myself down that route, because I know as soon as I do, and, you know, I want to try intermittent fasting, but I have to stop myself from doing it. So I think, you know, I think health and fitness is about knowing yourself too, knowing your history, knowing the person you want to be. I do try and work on my depression every day and stuff like that, do positive things for myself. Like this morning, if you'd seen me this morning, you didn't see a smiling cat. I was actually crying on the phone to my mum while on my spin bike, and I just couldn't deal with the day, didn't want to see anybody, struggled, you know, to get up in the morning. And I kind of got up and called my mum from the spin bike, and I wanted just to go back to bed. And that's how my day started. But then I kind of worked towards things. I started, you know, thinking about this show and the questions and getting a positive mindset. But there are days where I struggle to get there. I really struggle to get to that point where I can smile, I can be happy, I can be confident. Because, you know, at the start of the day today, I was like, I can't go on camera, I don't want to. And the little voice in my head was like, gotta back out, you know what I mean? And it is a process that, I mean, anyone that's had depression, Diana, you will understand this. You kind of have to keep putting foot in front of foot throughout the day until you hit the wall. And then the wall kind of opens up and you're like, oh, it's okay. So yeah, for me, health and fitness, it is the whole shebang. It's food, it is everything else. And, you know, being someone who is quite intense as a person, don't beat yourself up. And I do beat myself up. I can be horrible to myself. But it's about working on all the aspects of your life, you know, from the fitness to the food that you take. Because there are, like today, I got off the phone from my mum, I had a shower, and I actually made bean and corn burgers, and I haven't cooked in ages because my kitchen is not very equipped. So let's just put it that way. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to eat something very healthy for dinner tonight. I'm going to make my own bean and corn burgers, and I added seeds and nuts to it and everything else. And I felt really accomplished at the end of that.
Yeah, that's great.
And that actually helped me, because I knew that that one, I was going to have something healthy that I had made tonight, not something, you know, an Impossible burger that I had bought from the shop or something. And it kind of gave me a lift. But also I know that when I am down a slump, and I have been down a slump recently, that I don't necessarily get the nutrients I need, because I will buy my food rather than make it. And as a vegan, you have to balance everything. You have to balance your proteins and your ions. And I know at the moment I'm anemic because I have dark rings. And, you know, it's about the fact that I have been down a slump, and pull yourself back out. And the food is so important because it fuels your workouts, and it fuels your life and how you're going to function and how you're going to present yourself to people. So yeah, going back to it, fitness is mental, physical, and what you put into your body. So
great. I am also a vegan, so, you know, that's good to hear. We're all on the same path, more or less. It's awesome.
There's a vegan frozen yogurt shop on Olympic Boulevard. It's in Los Angeles, so Bettina, if you ever come out here, you have to try it. It's actually the one Demi Lovato bashed. It's called the Big Chill, and it was delicious. Everything's all vegan, and it like was vegan. I had I think just vanilla, like swirl soft serve vegan, and then like vegan chocolate chip cookies in it.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, there's also the most amazing vegan bakery. And my friend,
it's like you can't even tell. They get so crafty with that stuff. Like you cannot even tell.
Yeah. Yeah, I only been doing vegan like 2 years. Like when 2020 hit, I finally made that jump from vegetarian to vegan, and I do have a lot more energy. And as I was saying, I am getting back to the gym because I was working out like 4 times a week there for a couple years. And then I got in a car accident and I was like in pain for like 4 months. But I feel good now and I'm ready to get back into the gym. So I'm in the process of re-signing up and starting again. So, because that's important.
Awesome.
It
Yeah.
is, that's amazing. And you'll feel so much better for doing it because the best, I can say the best antidepressant in life and the best happy pill is definitely working out. Definitely.
Feels great. Like when you do it, I just get so busy sometimes it's hard to like fit it in. But once I sign up and I'm signing up for the classes and I'm going, then like
Yeah.
I'm back on my run. So
Yeah.
just getting
Classes
back
make
into
all
that.
the difference.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I went, so Monday and I started Orange Theory.
Oh.
And that's like for anyone who doesn't know what it is, it's like a class and you get in and we had to do the rowers and then you had to go and do the weights and then you did the treadmill. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do. I'm just going to give it a whirl. And the instructor, she's also from Staten Island. Shout out. She was like, you killed it your first workout. Like, I wouldn't even know you were new here. So not only did it give me that like physical high, but like I was feeling pretty damn good about myself too. So love
They
that
have-
you're on that journey.
Yeah, they have Orange Theory out here too. But the gym I was going to was Anytime Fitness, and I love. Oh, my chair just fell, and I love my chair just went like down.
You
I don't know.
shrunk. No.
I don't know how to get it back up.
Yeah,
Actually.
it's like we call it Mr. Chad in the UK, where there's a wall and there's a man with his little nose that hangs down the wall. You guys have a different name for it, but we call it Mr. Chad.
Oh, that's funny.
She's back. She's back.
So, but I like the Anytime Fitness too because it does have private classes where you're in like 3 to 6 people and it's like private workout sessions. But then you can also go on your own and do
Nice.
like. So I gotta get back
Yeah.
into it. Exciting.
I mean, I love classes because you meet people, and I used to do a lot of spin classes between South Africa and moving back to the States or staying with my parents, and I loved the fact that we all bonded.
Yeah.
And, you know, for example, when I did have alopecia and I lost all my hair, I was in the swimming pool and a guy from my spin class came up to me and I knew him to say hello to, I knew him to talk to in the sauna or something, but he just gave me the biggest hug. It was like, because we kind of had, even though we didn't know each other very well, it was kind of like a family feel because we saw each other 2-3 times a week in spin. And so when I was, you know, I lost all my hair and I was really upset.
Wow.
Yeah, this beautiful man from my spin class just sees me in the pool and he just kind of embraces me in this biggest hug.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we're both like half naked hugging in the swimming pool, but it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And that's the one thing I miss about not going to classes, because the moment where I live, obviously I have my spin bike in my apartment because I bought that. The first thing I bought was a spin bike when lockdown happened. And we have a little gym in the apartment. And so right now I'm not a member of a gym. So
Yeah.
to be honest.
Well,
But
at least you're working out. Yeah. Okay, I think the next topic was I'm gonna have my tarot cards here, and I thought it'd be fun for me to ask each one of you, like just like one issue you're struggling with, something you need clarity on. We only have time to pick like one card and tell you what that means, and so you can see if that makes sense of that. Like, I thought that would be kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
So you could tell me, Diana, what you need clarity on, I guess, is the question.
Yeah, I kind of want clarity on where I'm headed next in my career because I feel like I have a few different things on my mind where I can go and where I can
What are
head.
the 3 things? We'll do a card for each one. I'll tell you which makes more sense.
Okay, one is like obviously hosting.
Okay.
One is my current job in radio, and then one I really have a random interest in film lately.
Oh, doing what in film?
Kind of production and being on set and wrangling people. I'm very organized and good at yelling and getting everyone where they need to be.
That's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun.
PA here. We have a PA.
Yeah.
All right, I'm shuffling, I'm dividing, I'm
You
gonna
know
try
what?
to
That was kind of my question too. It was
I
going to be,
love
am I
it.
on the
Oh,
right path
cool.
in life? I have to rethink.
All right, I shuffled and I pulled 3 cards for Diana. I just
All
couldn't do it
right.
quickly because I still have one more question after this. But okay, so for the first one for hosting, you got the 2 of Cups, which is about just getting along really well with people, and that's a good positive card about like enjoying communication, interacting with people. That you're an open person, an honest person. You like to
Yeah.
say what you think, and you're very good in front of a large group of people as well, and you have a lot of energy and power for that, so that's good.
Love that.
And the
The radio-
smile. Don't forget the smile.
Thank
Look
you.
at that. And the radio card came up to be the Page of Wands, which is more about, that was the radio. You're still beginning it in some way, or starting. There's a lot more opportunities in there coming, but for now it just feels like a good starting point, and that's a good thing to keep doing as well. These are all 3 are positive.
Oh,
The third one,
awesome.
there's no they're all 3 are really strong
I
positive
love
cards.
it.
The third one, the film, was the 3 of Cups, which is like celebration and partying, lots of friends and good times. And yeah, I think you can do all 3 of them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
You don't
What
have
a
to choose
positive,
one right
amazing
now.
reading.
What?
What I said, what a positive and amazing reading.
Yeah, you got 3
Yeah.
strong cards.
I love
So,
it.
Does that make sense to you?
It
That
does
little
make
thing?
sense to me. It was interesting about radio because obviously I've been doing radio, God, 10 years now. So to hear that I'm still beginning in some way, that's very interesting to me.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
I'm
there's
gonna
not-
like journal on how am I beginning, and maybe that'll inspire me to do something new within that.
Yeah, there's like a new opportunity, like a promotion or a new thing
Love
coming.
it.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. You're welcome.
Here she
Welcome.
comes.
All right, Kat, tell me. That's right. Tell me.
Well, I was also going to ask, am I on the right path?
Okay.
And I mean, there's 2 things. One is career towards hosting, because I am very one-track mind towards hosting, and the other is the USA the right place for me?
Oh, wow. Okay, we got 2 cards to pull, the hosting and
Yes.
USA for
But
standing.
do you pull them randomly, or can I say a number that, like, from the deck that I want?
No, I'm gonna, for me, I'm taking your energy and putting it into
Okay.
the cards and shuffling and pulling that. So yes, it might seem random, but energetically, psychically, no.
I'm like
So-
so intrigued by this.
Yes. The first card is the Moon card about that came up when you asked about hosting, and the Moon card usually means being a good writer, like writing things and writing your own script or your own show or a book even or something. That came out to be like something to focus on even more. Does that make any sense for
That
you?
is very funny that you say that, because I have been sitting on a show called Too Old to Shoot Vogue for a few years now, and I actually reconnected with the owner of my old modeling agency here. It was the first agency I had in LA, and he's just got a show on ETV. And when I first thought of this show idea, I was actually going to do it as a Sex in the City sort of that sort of show, not a reality show. And then later I realized that, yeah, I'm not a screenwriter. Although I have this big vision, I need someone else to actually help make it a reality. So I changed the concept to a reality TV show. And I was thinking about Scott, I bet, but I moved back here from obviously Cape Town via the UK, just before, literally 2 weeks before the pandemic hit. And I was still building my confidence back from losing my hair. And anyway, we all thought we were going to be locked down for 3 months, not like a year and a half or whatever it was. And so my plan was always to approach Scott. Anyway, I saw on Instagram the other day that he was had this show coming out, and I actually am, from 2 days ago, reworking this show.
Wow.
For the now to approach Scott with.
Yeah, that's
very funny that you say that.
Yeah.
And
that's what's coming up is the thing you need to focus on, your writing. That will be a big success. So
okay, because I was visioned in this show that I could marry the hosting career with the modeling career but also obviously the writing credit and everything else, and producing credit. So
Well, that's cool.
That's really cool.
Okay.
Okay,
cool.
so am I in the right place being in the USA?
It came up as yes, the 9 of Pentacles is like being a big success here, making lots of money, doing really well. I mean, I checked also to see like what if you move, and it's like it's good, but it's better to stay here and focus on this.
Okay, so it's better to ride out the very
Yeah.
very bumpy road that we're currently on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because in my gut says stay in the States, but I'm not going to say I've been thinking about moving home. I have other people in my lives saying that I would be better to move home, and I know that, you know, I could walk into a job in radio back home, and so I do have forces on me right now, kind of, which have made me think about stuff, but my gut still says I want to be here, I want to be here, I want to be here, even though I know I can go home and I can have more money, a better life right now, but I want to swim the big fish. I don't want to swim in the little pond just doing radio, you know? So that's really interesting, and that's amazing how much energy you picked up just there.
Yeah.
Like, because I wasn't sure how this tarot would work long distance.
Yeah.
It works, man. I mean, I've Zoomed clients now. It's always mind blowing.
No kidding.
I mean, I know you have to feel the connection. You have to feel the energy. And I was just wondering how it would translate with it being on Zoom, not being on one.
I've been reading tarot since I was a teenager, and for most of that time it was like in groups at an event or at a party. But 2020, I started doing it like online, one-on-one, and there's so many nice advantages to it because it's quiet. I can stay focused on the person. We could do energy healing afterwards. Like, it's really good. So anyway,
amazing.
Glad that you let me do that. It was really fun.
So much.
Can I ask, when you do a tarot reading for yourself?
How do I do that? I don't. Oh, well, I do that. I try to keep it short and give one question answers for myself, and I do try to follow along what it's telling me. But it's, I can skew the answer sometimes, which is not always great. So I do have other people to read for me, but it's not. I don't like to think of it as a main thing because I don't want to. I can also be obsessive like you, like get like a little crazy, and I try not to use it too much.
Are you calling me crazy?
No, I mean I have that same quality. I have that same quality where I can get obsessed about it. So I have to be careful for using it with myself. I mean, I do occasionally. It's not like I never do. But I have other people that do healings for me or readings for me if I need it.
Wow.
Okay, I wanted to do one more question to finish it off, like a fun question about what is your favorite movie and why? I love movies and television. It could be television show too.
Okay. So I have a couple. I think like my favorite like go-to watch anytime is probably Tangled from Disney. I relate a lot to Rapunzel because she just looks out for the adventure. Sometimes she butts heads with her mom, but my mom is definitely no Mother Gothel. She's amazing. And then I really love Edward Scissorhands. I'm obsessed with Tim Burton and Danny Elfman. They're like my favorite combo ever. So the music for that movie, I listen to it like once a day when I'm working. I think it's hysterical, like how Johnny Depp, like he barely has any lines in the movie, but he's just so animated. Like this when Kim comes back, it's Winona Ryder, and she comes back and she sees him in her room, and he like pops the water bed, and there's water flying everywhere, and he's soaked, and she comes running out of her room, and he's like, like time. So that's one of my favorites. I just watched it on the plane when I went to Jersey to visit my family, and I was still laughing at that scene. And it was on the plane.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, what about you, Kat?
Oh God, I always associate movies with memories, and I'm going to say one of my favorite, and it's just popped into my mind now, is The Labyrinth with David Bowie. Because we used to have these big New Year's parties, and the kids would be in one room, the adults would be getting very drunk in the other, and they'll be playing a game called Are You There, Moriarty? For anyone who doesn't know Are You There, Moriarty, they're blindfolded. They have this baton which is made of rolled newspapers. And basically they lie on the floor, blindfolded, one hand holding each other, and basically beat each other with these newspapers. But you have to say, "Are you there, Moriarty?" And each person has to answer, and then you try and whack them. So anyway, the Labyrinth reminds me of New Year's Eve. And we were like quite young kids, but you know, there was older kids, and we used to watch it on repeat for the whole of New Year's every single year. And we would always pause this movie where David Bowie's Package is like center camera. And it just really reminds me of New Year's Eve. And we used to have like play the frog races and all that. And it was just great because there was a house full of kids that we knew really well, because it was like close family, friends and stuff like that. And it was the same people every year. And then just watching the parents just beat each other with newspapers while they're so drunk. But yeah, so that the Labyrinth has amazing memories. And then obviously I met David Bowie when I worked with him, and so it's become extra special. And the other one that I'm thinking of, just because I think it's cute, it reminds me of South Africa, is Happy Feet. It's the little penguins, and it just reminds me, I watched it with a guy in South Africa, and it just reminds me of Cape Town. And you know, it was the first time I lived in South Africa, and yeah, it just reminds me of one of my favorite places on this planet, because I kind of feel Britain and Africa are my homes. And I mean, LA's become my home too, but I've always been gravitated towards Africa. I don't know why, but I always said I'm going to end my life in Africa and everything else. So I love Happy Feet. So
that's great. The two movies I picked that I really love one is called Blue Jasmine with Cate Blanchett. She's just like my favorite actress, or one of my top favorite, because she's just so interesting what she does with that. And she just created this like amazing character. And then like, I don't know if you know, but she's like plays this like really rich person who slowly becomes like mentally insane. And you can see like the layers, and it's so nuanced, and she just like freaks out at the end. I just like love that. I love anything that has like an interesting secret, and then like the secret gets revealed, and it's like interesting to me that to watch that. And it's similar, another movie that she was in called Notes on a Scandal. Have you ever seen that movie?
Wow.
It's also with Cate Blanchett, and it's also what's that other actress? Judi Dench.
oh, I love Judi Dench.
Oh, it's
She
so
is
good.
amazing.
Yeah, Notes on a Scandal. I think that is like one of my top favorite movies. So many weird secrets that slowly get revealed, and you know, it's really good. That's what I like. Well, on that note, I think we're kind of winding this up. I think it's time to end it. And I want to say how wonderful that was to have this chatting with both of you today. So special. And
It was great. Thank you so much.
yeah, it was really fun.
Brilliant questions. Great. You know, it's just been wonderful. Really wonderful.
Really nice chatting with everyone. So we'll do it again soon. I guess I got to sign off saying bye. Bye, everyone.